and do a live for an update of what I'm going to be doing on the IMX tour coming up, the Europe tour. Just watched the live stream if you missed it. They did a public one for 15 minutes, I think, and then one for Patreons. And if you're not on the Patreon, they do have tiers from like $3 upwards. Sorry, I look a bit of a mess, but been working. So hopefully this works okay. I'm gonna try to do more lives on here, and especially for this tour, I want to take you guys along, do some more vlogging, not just on Instagram. I will be live streaming the gigs as usual, as many as I can, because as you guys know, I really love doing that and taking you along for those of you who can't be there. Plus it's just really, really fun. I don't know if I can see the chat. Let's see if, hang on. I haven't actually streamed on this YouTube yet, I don't think. Like, well, not me, I've streamed gigs on here. Which, by the way, if you didn't know, if you go on the videos tab on this channel, you can see some of the gigs that I streamed last tour. Because I did a lot. And I used to stream on Instagram and Facebook on the group that I run. But I decided to on YouTube because it was a little bit more accessible for everybody. So anyway, yeah, I'm doing a lot of the gigs this tour, but I am going to come home and leave a few out this time. And the reason for that is I want to save money for the US tour. And also I have a paddleboarding race that I really wanted to do. And it's tricky, kind of tricky with that, because with the training with paddleboard racing, it's very intense. I paddle all year round, not a fan of the winter, so that's been pretty rough going. But even when I travel for IMX, as you've probably seen on my Instagram, I do paddle as well to keep up the training. Anyway, I just wanted to drop in because I just wanted to give you an update. So off the top of my head, I crack off the tour here in England. If you didn't know, IMX will be at Manchester and London. And Manchester for IMX, in my opinion, is usually always fantastic. The London gigs, for me personally, are a little bit hit and miss, and it's not IMX's fault. It's sometimes the crowd, just a little bit hit and miss, but it's on my doorstep, so obviously I'll be going. If you've never seen IMX in Europe before, or US or Canada or wherever else, I really recommend it. I get a lot of people that tend to moan and say, oh, there's not many UK gigs. The truth is, it really isn't that expensive to get yourself a cheap flight or Eurostar ticket, whatever, to go, you know, to Germany, France, whatever you want to do. You can do it on a budget. You know, even if you're just going to one gig, you'll be really surprised at booking things in advance and cutting costs down, such as, you know, staying with friends if you know anybody, or an Airbnb, or sharing accommodation. And speaking of which, just give you a little insight on how I personally afford it. Number one, plan ahead. It takes me a good couple of months, not kidding, to sit and plan transportation, Airbnbs, sharing with people. And I'm very picky about who I share with, because I've learned in the past some bad experiences of doing that. You know, be really mindful with who you trust and things like that. You got to be careful, you know. So that's my tip. And obviously I am lucky because being self-employed and everything, I have the luxury of choosing what I do. So that's always a pro. Sorry, just sorting it out. So yeah, I am fortunate in that regard, but I do have to work like everybody else. And also things can go to shit. Like, we've been on tour before and had dramas with trains. Last tour we had, oh my god, if you follow me on Insta and Facebook, you'll know all about it. But we had some very dramatic scenarios where we just about made the gig, and unfortunately for a lot of people, they didn't make the concert because of train dramas. So, you know, you just got to be planning ahead, really. Other things to consider is health and well-being. It is very stressful touring, very difficult to stay calm sometimes, and, you know, dealing with crowds of people and noises and all that stuff, you know, for the regular person that is regular minded, it's very easy for them to deal with all that stuff. But for the rest of us guys, it's tough. Other things I would say is when you're on tour is looking after yourself, eating well. I don't drink that often. In fact, I haven't drank any alcohol in like probably 5 months. But I do like to drink on tour, but again, moderation for me personally. Um, yeah, so you know, there's things like that. Being vegan, I like to plan, supporting independent cafes and restaurants as much as I can. I love coffee, and again, what I'll do is um, find, you know, really cool independent coffee places. Um, I have got a list, I think, on my Instagram of the gigs I'm doing. Should anybody want to meet up or whatever. If you're new to seeing IMX, as you know, I have a group on Facebook called IMX Tribe, and I will often put posts out. So if anyone's shy and they don't have anyone to go to the gig with, you're very welcome to meet us before the gig and hang out. Yeah, so this tour is going to be a great one. So if you've not seen the dates, go and check it out on the website. You can still buy tickets, of course. And then the US tour, as we just found out, will hopefully be October, November time, which I'm very thankful for because it gives a bit of a break to get money together and plan. One thing that I am a little bit nervous about actually is my cat is 16 this year and she's had various health issues going on and she's still not quite right. So I'm a little bit nervous about leaving her at home. I have family like feed her, but she'll be at home alone a lot and I'm feeling pretty guilty about that. Don't think I can find any friends or whatever to come and sit with her or stay over. And I don't have those kind of funds to pay for someone to come and live in my house. Like that costs thousands. Yeah, so now I'm waffling. But yeah, just want to give you a little update there. I've got loads of photos being posted over to My IAMX Life on Instagram. Still got buckets of photos I haven't actually gone through yet. Like honestly, the content is just crazy. I did get the permission that I can actually make a book and prints of the photos I've taken because I get that question a lot. I just haven't got round to that yet, but it's definitely something on the horizon. So that would be kind of cool. So people could, you know, actually get a print of their choice or whatever. If you didn't know, I'm also doing a project of photographing IMX fans, just using my iPhone. I'm not bringing my fancy camera, nothing like that. Not that my camera's actually fancy anymore. I need an upgrade. Um, but yeah, that's been really fun. I still have loads to share from that, but I've shared some already on my IMX Life. Just really nice to show people the diversity of IMX fans because, as you know, we're all ages, come from all different cultures, and I just thought it'd be really nice to um, share with you guys the kind of fun fashion that goes on as well. And speaking of which, that's another question I get a lot is what to wear for IMX gigs. And there's no dress code, obviously, but if you want to be fun and you want to dress up, you'll be right at home because so many people do put a lot of effort in. And of course, some of us wear a lot of glitter, me included, as you know. So yeah, there's not much else I want to say. I'm now gonna go and do some admin. Um, yeah, I just want to get. Oh, hi, Morticia. Nice to see you. And yeah, I wear a lot of black for IMX, even though I wear pink a lot in daily life. I tend to wear a lot of black for IMX, but I do try my best to incorporate a bit of colour too. It's just natural that my IMX wardrobe is a lot of black, to be fair. And there's nothing wrong with that, is there? um, other things I wanted to know. I will ask IMX about streaming on their YouTube channel again, because that's really fun to do. And do remember, when I do the streaming, it's on my iPhone. I remember at the London gig when I streamed in 2020, when was that? God, I don't even remember. Was it last year or the year before? I actually used my GoPro mount thing. Not GoPro mount, sorry. My mount that wraps around the rail of the barrier to keep the phone more steady. So I could then use my GoPro and take some pictures. Because I also have a GoPro. You can do live on a GoPro, but it's a little bit trickier to do that. Oh yeah, London 2023, that's right, Morticia. And oh, I'm pleased to hear that. It was a really good gig, actually. The venue, the sound was amazing, to be fair. Um, Yeah, so I will also do a little bit of vlogging of getting ready um for tour life and stuff like that, because I get a lot of questions about that too. Packing can be quite stressful. You know, sometimes I end up going over my suitcase limit and having to pay for additional fees on that, which is never fun. So what happens with Euro Tour for me this year? And again, you know me, sometimes this can change. I can end up doing last minute additions, but I plan to head out Manchester, staying over in Manchester, coming home the next day briefly, because it'd be the London gig, going to the London gig, coming home again, and then I fly out the very next day after that to oh my God, where do I go? Oh, Munich, that's it. Heading out to Munich, and then it'd be the Germany part. Then they're also going back to Germany again, but I'm missing some of the German gigs out this time. Well, you never know, I might add them back in. But like I said, the plan for me, do a few, come back home, do the paddleboarding race, work a bit, and then go back out again. And what I'm really excited for this time is I get to go back to Barcelona. I haven't been to Barcelona for IMX for ages, and I'm going to Madrid as well, and I've never been to Madrid, so that's going to be exciting. It's always cool to add cities that I've never been to before. Plus it'd be nice weather. Oh, cannot wait. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it there. And if you have any questions about the tour or anything else, feel free to drop a message. And remember, on Instagram, I am My IAMX Life and Miss Lolly Rock. You can also find the Facebook group, which is IMX Tribe. And yes, Morticia, I haven't done Stockholm actually, and it puts me off a little bit because it's quite expensive there. I remember I went to Gothenburg and it was quite expensive, but I had a really good gig. I do really love, um, going out there, but this time around just wasn't feasible. But you never know, right? Again, things could change. I am very lastminute.com sometimes. Yeah, so that is it for now. I will speak to you soon. Bye.